Okay, so about a couple years ago, I was getting my yearly physical. I get my physical every year. I got my colonoscopy. I get a yearly skin physical. So I was getting my yearly physical a couple years ago, and when they were doing the blood pull, I said to my primary care, are they are you or they or whoever are they testing for for sexually transmitted diseases or sexually transmitted infections? Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a content creator. Use this information at your own risk. Results are not guaranteed. You know. So I said to my primary care, great primary care. I always treat all medical, staff politely and respectfully at all times, no matter what. So I said to the primary, are you testing for STDs, sexually transmitted diseases? He said, oh, do you want that? And I said to myself, I was like, yeah, of course. I mean, of course I want that. So I guess he added it in, but, it just made me think. Again, I have no clue about the medical industry and physicals and stuff like that, besides whatever, is being told to me about me. But in my opinion, when people get their yearly physical, when they get that big blood pull, it should be automatic. If it's not, that they get tested for all the sexually transmitted diseases. And like in my opinion, also, and again, results are not guaranteed. Just because you get tested doesn't mean you're protected. Because I mean, if you're in a relationship with someone and they're hooking up with a bunch of people, or you're hooking up with a bunch of people, or both of you are hooking up with a bunch of people, obviously the odds are going to go up. And I mean, common sense will tell you the odds are going to go up and up and up that you could potentially catch something. I mean, the more partners you have, regardless if you're getting tested or not. But um, in my, if I was, I mean, dating is the last thing on my mind right now. It's a long story, but it's just the last thing on my mind. But if I were to meet someone and we were going to thinking about dating, the first thing I would say is I need to see a recent sexually transmitted infection, sexually transmitted disease test results, from either like a major hospital, maybe like City MD or MedRite or Go Health or something like that. Or, I don't feel comfortable hooking up um, unless I see a recent, test result. And even with a recent test result, nothing is guaranteed because, like I said, if people are hooking up with a lot of people, but still, no matter what, I would not. And I just don't understand how couples are dating without asking to see a recent STD, sexually transmitted disease test result. I think, well, I'm going to stop it there. And like I said, even if you see that, if the couples, people in the relationship, one or both, are dating a lot of other people, I mean, of course, um, you know, anything could happen at that point because you're adding so many people into the mix. But at least, I just don't see why people aren't asking for it. Even though it doesn't guarantee anything. It's in my opinion, it's better than nothing. Anyway, that's my opinion. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. If you have medical questions, speak to a doctor. That's basically it. If you're in a relate, I would definitely get. Every year I get my yearly physical. I always say, test me for STDs, and anyway, that's it. And I would never date someone without seeing a recent STD test result. I wouldn't even consider it. Thank you and have a great day.